the Clarksdale Press Register, serving the Delta since 1865. And here is my article. It's a full page, and I'm going to get my friend Bear Ryan to read it for y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey y'all, my name is Bear Ryan of Bear Ryan and the Delta Snakes. I'm gonna read you guys an article from my front porch in Mississippi about guitar Frenchie. He plays guitar in my band, the Delta Snakes, and also is my neighbor. So here we go. This is in the Clarksdale Press Register, Thursday, July 30th, 2026, written by Chris Mullins. Kevin Sciou, known to most as Guitar Frenchie, is originally from the South, but not the American South. He was born in the south of France in a town called Nîmes. He says he grew up a typical French kid, but was influenced by all things American. He has spent 25 years living in America. That's more time living in the United States than back in France. He says his parents were into motorcycles, rock and roll, blues, and R&B. He was immersed in American media, watching television shows like The Dukes of Hazzard, Different Strokes, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and The Cosby Show. According to Frenchie, American basketball was very popular in France. People idolized Michael Jordan and the 1992 Olympic Dream Team. Frenchie joked that he dreamed of being a basketball player, but standing 5'6" tall, it wasn't much more than a dream. I identify with American culture, says Frenchie. He finds French culture interesting because of the heavy American influences. However, he says he can no longer bear to watch an American film dubbed in French. He first came to the United States in 2001 to backpack across the country and ended up in Los Angeles. He knew he wanted to stay indefinitely, but had no guarantee that would be possible. He figured Los Angeles would be a good place to get his footing, playing in jam sessions and trying to make lasting connections. One night, he had an encounter with a man who was starting a rock and roll band and claimed it would be the next Guns N' Roses. Frenchie found this amusing, but nonetheless, it piqued his interest. The man asked him if he'd ever seen the television show The Dukes of Hazzard. The show was Frenchie's favorite. However, in France, it had a different name that loosely translated to "Give me thrills, Sheriff," according to Frenchie. He was introduced to the band's leader, Shooter Jennings, son of country music legend Waylon Jennings. Since Dukes of Hazzard was his favorite show growing up, this connection to the songwriter of the show's theme was uncanny. His first crush was the show's heartthrob, Daisy Duke. Shooter asked where Frenchie was staying. He replied, in a hostel above a liquor store on Hollywood Boulevard. He was instructed to get his things and move in with Shooter and the band. Waylon Jennings and his wife, Jessie, wanted to meet this mysterious guitar-slinging Frenchman, and after an introduction, they agreed to sponsor the ambitious artist. Frenchie says that he and the Jennings family developed a mutual love. In 2002, Waylon Jennings died, depriving the world of one of country music's most influential artists. The Jennings family decided to maintain Frenchie's sponsorship. Being sponsored by Country Loyalty offered major legitimacy to the up-and-coming artist. I fell in love with America itself and with the road, says Frenchie. He continues, it is the craziest country in the history of the world. It's the Rome of our time. The possibilities were palpable. He adds, I got there with nothing and was making something. He says the music scene in France was cool too, but seemed limited. He joked, I wasn't going to be in a band that sang in French. He added, France was too small for me. I would have been an actor, says Frenchie, referring to what his music may have been without the authenticity that came from his years as a United States-based artist. Los Angeles had treated him well, but he decided it was time to get the hell out of Dodge. He lived in Nashville for 8 years, cutting his teeth in the country music city. He spent some time in Austin, Texas. He lived in Oklahoma for years before eventually settling back in Texas, living in Fort Worth. Frenchie always imagined a blues career, but the opportunity never presented itself. He spent years playing in country rock bands, living in tour buses as a successful sideman. He hadn't tried to break out of the usual and pursue success as an independent artist. He says he only recently started singing his own songs. Throughout his musical career in the United States, he had been visa to visa. but in 2016, he became an American citizen. He began to explore his options. On the other side of the COVID thing, Frenchie says, he was living in Fort Worth fronting a band called Frenchie'S Blues Destroyers. He had been putting money aside. He had been living with roommates, but that scenario was growing old. He'd put together a budget to purchase a house. The question was, where? Back in 2017, Frenchie had visited and performed in Clarksdale. He was invited to perform at the Juke Joint Festival and the following year and again for the 2020 Hambone Festival. Frenchie says a light bulb went off. Clarksdale. In 2023, Frenchie called Stan Street. They had become fast friends during his visits to Clarksdale. Stan invited him to stay at the Hambone Art Gallery while Frenchie went house hunting. Eventually, he found a property in Lyon and purchased it, relocating to the Delta. He has become a staple of the Clarksdale blues community. He says that living in Clarksdale has been fantastic. He adds that the community is brilliant. He thinks back to his years living in Nashville, having just returned from a weekend visit to the city. He says that Nashville's growth has created many big positive things, but he laments that living in Nashville demands being on the grind all the time. Living in the Mississippi Delta, Frenchie says he doesn't feel the urge to leave. He spends most of his time in the Delta region performing in various venues. I'm so comfortable here, says Frenchie. Now, whenever he ventures out of the area, he gets the feeling that he is coming home as he nears Clarksdale and Lyon on his return trip. Living here is addictive in a good way. People welcome you with open arms. I'm invested in the future of Clarksdale. He says throughout his career, he has experienced many high points, including playing Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado, as well as performing on various talk shows. He says he moved to America to see if I was good enough. He adds, I've done more than I would have ever imagined. Now that he is living a slow-paced life in Clarksdale, he admits his years having lived in big cities made it hard for him to shake off the Monday morning guilt.
Well, thanks, Bear. Well, all right, that was the article. Thanks for watching. I will leave the link to Bear's YouTube channel in the description. Make sure to check it out. She's awesome. See ya.